Hello, welcome back. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm KROOF. It is a pleasure to see you today. This video will be a little bit of a divergence from my previous videos where I focus mostly on Guild Wars 2, but we're still staying in the MMO realm. But we're kind of just changing our direction, our viewpoint to another title that is launching February 11th. This being Lost Ark. Lost Ark is a game that is accompanied by Amazon Games and Smilegate RPG and is finally being brought over to the Western market. I've known Lost Ark for quite some time, particularly in the Eastern markets like Korea, and of course it came over to Russia, and now we are finally getting our hands on it, and there's been some betas, and everything that I've seen has been truly exciting, and it has in a way hooked me. Granted, I have not yet played it, but I want to go over everything that I know about Lost Ark and kind of impart a little bit of my excitement and my hopes for the game. When we finally get our hands on it, I'll be doing some videos, some first impressions as a long-time MMORPG player, and just give a review of how it's been first impressions, and if the first impression sticks, you might see me playing Lost Ark quite a bit. For this video, what is a better way to start than to go to their official website to get all the information that Lost Ark has to offer. I'm here and we're gonna kind of go through it, also give a review about their website. I know websites are a very particular thing that many people have their subjective opinions on. This is my video, so I'm not going to shy away from giving my opinions. So we have Lost Ark, your Odyssey awaits. Play free February 11th, 2022, or you can become a founder by clicking this link and getting a couple different bundle packages. I believe that there are some early access perks that you can get. You'll get like a 3-day head start. We have a little bit of a news section, which at the right top of the page, maybe a little strange. I would have expected to see the news section be a little bit lower down on the website, but that's neither here nor there. But it is nice to keep people in the loop, and of course we have the announcement that the Sorceress class will actually be launching with the game instead of the Summoner, and the Summoner will be kept on the back burner for a bit and then will eventually be introduced into Lost Ark. But other than the live updates on news, we have the more standard marketing, punchy titles of the story, the world, the gameplay. So we have an ancient enemy returns. The bards in Arcasia tell of a legendary war in which the demon Kazaros was defeated with the aid of a powerful relic called the ARK. Now Kazaros and his demon legion have returned, seeking bloodthirsty vengeance, and it's up to the heroes of Arcasia to stop them. Set sail across the wide world, fight the legions of darkness, and unleash the legendary power of the Lost Ark before it's too late. Go into the more in-depth version by clicking on See More, but then we'll kind of just continue. A world of adventure. Your Odyssey begins with your search for the Lost Ark. Discover wonders in every corner as you explore cities, castles, and catacombs. We love a little bit of alliteration. Delve into the chaos of dungeons, go head-to-head in expert PvP duels, embark on epic quests, raid against bosses big and small, and face the Demon Legion to reclaim the eternal power and light of the Lost Ark and bring peace to Arcasia. How will you fight? Now, Lost Ark is a top-down MMORPG, which is something that I very rarely dip my toes in with the aesthetics of gaming. I've never really played Diablo. I've played a little bit of Path of Exile, but that top-down aspect has never really hooked to me. However, with Lost Ark and it being a bit more of a classical MMORPG, I feel more willing to participate in this game. And from the visuals that I've seen, they look really crisp, they look really modern, and they look really up to date. So from that aspect, high marks. This topic of how will you fight? Lost Ark has several classes, each with their own distinct advanced options to explore. Choose simple pick up and play combat or customize your fighting style with the unique tripod system. I want to get a little bit more into this because the combat of MMOs is really what I sink my teeth into, as I think many of us do. Though some people really prefer story, some people gravitate towards the aesthetics, costumes, fashion, community aspects. I appreciate everything, but I'm really a stickler for class customization and how much you can customize your class. So I've been researching a little bit more and I've been picking things up just passively, but when I get into Lost Ark, that's when I really want to put a lot of focus on that. But as they had mentioned, each of the classes will be able to specialize and propel themselves into another niche of that overall class. So with the mage, we get access to the bard and the sorceress, but with the bard, it's a bit more of that support aspect, some healing and shielding and damage increase, and of course the sorceress, more so long range, flat damage. For the warrior, we have the berserker, the paladin, and the gun lancer. Berserker, big damage, paladin, another support aspect, and gun lancer, which I believe is more so tank. But definitely classical warrior stuff. A lot of people that like to play melee, you'll have a good time with that. Next, we have the martial artist with the striker, the ward dancer, the scrapper, and the soul fist. Lots of variations with up close melee combat, more martial art focused, maybe even some magic and some energy elements to these classes. And then, of course, we continue on into the gunner, where you have the gunslinger, the artillerist, a very interesting name, the deadeye, and the sharpshooter. I love a little bow class. And then finally, the assassin, the shadow hunter, and the deathblade. Now, there are more classes coming with Lost Ark, and I believe there are more classes on the other clients in the Eastern market. With that, I know of the artist class that is coming, which is the more support, healing focused, and I'm really a huge support fan, and I love being able to assist the party in fights, so I'm really interested in the artist. But as for the world of Lost Ark, I do also hold a near and dear spot for lore and narrative structure in MMOs. Guild Wars 2 has really great MMO narrative that I've fallen in love with. Hopefully Lost Ark will do the same. But Lost Ark seems to be a very straightforward, I mean, if we look at Freytag's triangle, you need the introduction, you need the rising action, the call to action. We need some climactic enemies, climactic events, enemies, protagonists, antagonists. So that all seems to really be set in Lost Ark, with the system of the Demon Lord coming back to Arcasia and the fragments of the Ark that you have to, I assume, go collect and then use the Ark. It seems like a very straightforward, in a sense, structure, but hopefully when you're playing the story, you get to really absorb yourself into the world and the environment, and then of course the characters of Lost Ark. And I really hope that Lost Ark has some voice acting. I have seen some voiceover and voice acting. Well, I don't really have a lot of opinions on the story. It just seems to be a very classic fantasy world story, which I will never get tired of those, as long as they're well executed. But in addition to this, there is endgame, where you can do dungeons and raids. I believe there's also a situation with a chaos dungeon where you're fighting like thousands upon thousands of mobs, which is like really appealing if you like that hack and slash feel. Also, the game of Lost Ark is fairly hack and slash-ish, which feels really cool from my past experience with those types of games, and hopefully in an MMO setting, it also feels really nice. And if you're more competitively inclined, there are arenas that you can dive right into. I've seen a lot of 3v3 situations, and of course with the complexity of the class design and the different things that you can specialize in and how you build that class, I think PvP could be a really interesting opportunity for Lost Ark. And I wonder if there is a competitive scene for it in the existing communities, or if we'll see a competitive scene start to rise on the West. So everyone, that is a little bit of a roundup for Lost Ark and my overall excitement for this MMORPG. I really hope to see this flourish, because having more MMOs is always a great time. Having more things to talk about, to play, to stream, to do everything. I love online internet culture, and I love video games and video game culture. I am particularly excited, even though this would not be the go-to MMO that I thought I'd be interested in, but hey, good change is good sometimes, you know? So everyone, thank you so much for coming. Like the video if you liked it, comment down below your thoughts about Lost Ark. Are you going to give it a shot? It is free and it is launching February 11th. And if you'd like to support the channel, I have a Patreon down below where you get early access to videos. Thank you so much to my patrons. You're truly the best. Subscribe, all that stuff, and I will see you all. I trust you've been on the internet long enough. I trust you all know what to do with YouTube sign-offs. But I will catch you all in the next video. Take care, everyone. Mwah!